That's what we see in this 10th Assembly. Their docility and their, conniving with the executive is something that is so worrying. They are not detached from the executive. We are attached to the executive. So they are like an agency of the executive. They are not like the legislature, who is supposed to be independent. They are just the lackeys of the executive. They just do what the executive wants. So they are not that legislature that bites. They are not that legislature that does their watchdog properly. There is separation of power. But is there separation of power between the executive, President Tinubu, and the National Assembly headed by Akpabio? Is there any separation of power? I don't think so. They come to National Assembly, they are singing on your mandate. And it's not a political rally. It's a government function. They're supposed to sing the national anthem. But they will be singing on your mandate in that chamber, knowing that there are opposition parties, there are people from other parties in that same chamber. And it was okay for them. They can sing that when they have APC, party function. They can sing on their mandate. But when it's a national issue, you can't sing on your mandate. You sing the national anthem. Hello, my people. Welcome to my channel. This is Andy Media TV. Today, I just want to look at the 10th National Assembly. That is the assembly headed by Senator Godswill Akpabio as the Senate President. So, he's the chairman of the National Assembly, right? And then is overseeing the whole of the National Assembly, both the green and the red chamber, the House of Reps and the Senate. So he's the chairman, so he's in charge of the National Assembly. So I'm just thinking about his leadership, so far in the National Assembly, and I feel so disgusted of what has been transpiring within, his government as the leader of the National Assembly. When you look at other assemblies headed by Senator David Mark, headed by Chubo Kadibo, Adolfo Sumabara, and the rest of them, there was kind of activity, going on between the executive and the legislature. That is to say, when the executive is doing some certain things, the legislature holds them accountable. And don't forget, at that time, we are just new to democracy. We are just practicing it. But not today, that we are about 20-something years in democracy. We are still even worse than the people who started in 1999. So does it mean we are not growing? Does it mean we are not learning anything new? Does it mean we are not improving on ourselves? But I think the quality of leaders that gain access to all these positions are one of the key factors here. Because when you elect somebody or somebody rig themselves into power who doesn't understand what to do, who doesn't understand the job at stake, you see this kind of situation, going on. Now, I'm going to look at some issues concerning this, 10th Assembly. Some certain things I've seen, that got me, worked up, about how they behave, their manner, and the modus operandi of this 10th Assembly, which I can see a very large red flag in this 10th Assembly. And if these current people continue in 2027, then Nigeria gonna be a country that nobody will, be able to recognize. First is, what is the job of the National Assembly? Maybe from there, we can now go into what they are currently doing, and then we'll be able to finalize this, matter. But before I start this journey, if you are new to my channel, please kindly like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel and put on your notification bell so that when my next new video drop, will be among those that will be notified. You see, when you like and share this video, other people see it, and that's how my video is recommended. And the only thing you can do for me is to help me grow the channel. So that's what I ask of you. Okay, having said that, let's look at some key issues. First, the National Assembly. We are created as an arm of government, right? We have the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. They are the three arms of government. That's why if you go to Abuja, we have the three arms zone where you have the Court of Appeal, the National Assembly, and the Federal Secretariat. Then also Villa along the line. So the three arms of government is within that zone. That's why it's called three arms zone. All right. Now, when you look at their function, National Assembly or the legislature is called the watchdog, basically. Why are they called the watchdog? When you have your own house, get a dog, the dog sits in his porch and looks outside. When you see an intruder, he starts doing his job. So that's what National Assembly or the legislature, you have the State House of Assembly, then you have the National Assembly. You also have the councillors at the local level. However, our focus is on the National Assembly, the 10th Assembly, basically. Now, their job is to watch the executive, right? What they do, how they do it, what is the outcome of what they are doing. That is the reason why the law gave them the capacity or the capability to appropriate resources, to conduct oversight, and also to make laws, to legislate laws. These are their three basic functions. Now, in terms of making laws, this is exactly what happened in the electoral, electoral bill, which they are working on. It is their job to create such bill. When it goes to the president, when he assent to it, it becomes a law. So at this stage, it's still a bill, right? Now, it is their job to make those laws. That is one of their key functions, making laws. And now, being an assembly, it means they are there on the mandate of some group of people, which we call the constituents, right? So they are representing a constituency which is made up of constituents, that is individuals, families, communities within that area. So they are not there to do their own bidding. They are there to do what those people in those communities where they come from, those constituencies they come from, are asking them to go and do on their behalf. That's the thinking. But the question, what they are doing today, is it what those people want? Obviously not. The people say they want electronic transmission of election results from the polling booth on real time. Most cases, people confuse this real time thing. I've had some said Nigeria is not using electronic voting, so how will they transmit results in real time? It's because they don't understand that language in that wording, which I think maybe they can just remove that real time and put simple English that INEC officials must transmit the result electronically from the polling booth as soon as from ECA 8 is signed. I think that should be better, because real time simply means in that context, as soon as the result has been finalized and signed, all the agents have signed, the INEC officials have signed and stamped, then they can now transmit that result. It must happen from the polling booth. That is all. So when there is no network, if you send it, it hangs. The moment you move to where there is network, it continues to upload. As simple as that. It happens to everybody. You put on your phone downloading document and you pass where there is no network, it will pause. When you get into where there is network, upload continues or download continues, whichever one you are doing. So there's no problem about network issues and stuff like that. And citizens will even volunteer to bring out their modem, to solve issue of network. So that's aside. Now, how has these people made their laws? You look at what happened in the tax law, right? They made a law, sent to the president for assent. The executive inserted different clauses that were not in the law ab initio. And a member of the House of Rep raised the flag. And they looked into it and they announced it that truly the executive tinkered with the law. What happened? Their job is what? Oversight. So these are kind of issues they're supposed to have summoned those people from the executive. And if it's something they do their fact-finding, they hand over information to prosecutors. And those people will be held accountable. But what happened? Nothing. You made a law. Someone else changed what you wrote. And everybody is comfortable. That's a problem. That's what we see in this 10th Assembly. Their docility and their, conniving with the executive is something that is so worrying. They are not detached from the executive. We are attached to the executive. So they are like an agency of the executive. They are not like the legislature, who is supposed to be independent. They are like an appendage of the executive. And that is bad for democracy. They're supposed to be independent and deliver on their mandate. 3 key functions: make laws, do oversight, appropriate. So when you look at that, you begin to worry, what kind of assembly do we have? Have you ever heard that this assembly is doing oversight? Recall other, assemblies like Bukola Saraki's tenure when he was Senate president, even David Mark at that time. They do oversight. They summon DGs, ministers, different agencies all the time. They debate, air it live, and then they go to the field as well. What have you heard concerning this people? Where were they when billions of nairas have been taken? In the social investment program under Better Edu, some funds were alleged to be missing, about 3 billion or thereabout. What happened? What was the outcome? Till date, nothing happened. So when you look at their responsibilities to make laws, they are making the laws they want, not the laws for Nigerians. So look at what happened in the tax law. It's a problem. So when you look at how they do their job, we have seen a lot of their members, senators, shouting at the chambers that they will, just come and ambush them with what the executive want, or with one kind of law or one, kind of bill they want to pass. They will ambush them. They won't give them ample time to study the bill, to know what to contribute on the floor of the Senate. They will just ambush them and then pass the bill under 2 hours. You see how national anthem was changed under how many hours? and so many other bills like that. Within a short period, it's done. No proper scrutiny, no proper debate. We have seen, I think I saw Senator Tony Nwoye at that time, shouting on the floor of the Senate. So now you see what happens when you don't have competent people that have the heart of the country in the middle of the picture. So I recall when Senator Akpabio was the governor, they called him uncommon governor. And I appreciate the quality of roads and all the things he built. But he's coming into the national level as senator, senate president. We know during his tenure as a minister for Niger Data Affairs, when he was heading the NDDC agencies and all this, we saw what happened. A lot of issues off the mic, you remember. And today is the senate president. We can see the high-handedness. We can see how it doesn't call some senators that led to him and Senator Natasha Akpoti having a kind of face-off and all the allegations that came up at that time. So the point is that the way and manner they conduct their business is something that is really affecting Nigerians. When the president sends in a request that he wants a loan, what happens? Within a short period, it's approved. Nobody scrutinizes these loans. Why do they need this loan? What project is this loan tied to? They will just put there, is for infrastructural development. That's vague. Which infrastructure? So nobody knows the breakdown of what those infrastructure are. Because if you are borrowing a loan for infrastructure, you should be able to mention what infrastructure, how much is going to which particular infrastructure and stuff like that. So it's on record that this administration of President Bola Tinubu has borrowed more loan than the 8 years of Buhari and Jonathan put together. For 6 years of Jonathan and 8 years of Buhari put together, he has spent just 2 years, heading to 3 years. He has borrowed more than these two regimes. So why? Who is going to pay? Me and you, all of us. Is going to pay that. So when you look at how this whole thing is done, there's nothing wrong in borrowing loan, but you need to borrow loan for investment. You need to borrow loan to tie it to infrastructure that can be able to repay those loans. That's how things are done. You don't borrow loan and share it and call it conditional cash transfer. And tomorrow, how do you repay the loan when people have consumed the money? So now they brought the student loan stuff. What is National Assembly doing to hold them accountable? How many people have borrowed this loan, have received this loan? Where are they? Invite some of them to come and testify and tell Nigerians how they are faring. We saw the video released by Very Dark Man in Morocco during the Nations Cup, where so many Nigerians who are schooling there are suffering. Their monthly allowance are not sent to them. So the state they are living is worrisome. So these are the issues, but they will tell us back home that there is student loan, they have given loan to how many million Nigerians. You can see how they are living there. Stranded. This is the job of the National Assembly, to investigate how the student loan is working. Is it really effective? So that if it's not, they stop allocating resources for it. If it is, how do they make it better? Do they need more funding since it's helping Nigerians to go to school, not just domestically, but abroad as well? How are they doing the oversight? All the abandoned projects, how are they doing the oversight? How? They send money and call it conditional cash transfer. They have sent 5,000 or whatever amount it is to indigent Nigerians. Who are those indigent Nigerians? They have committees. That's why they have committees. How are they doing the oversight? Have they gone to visit those people? Have they demanded for the record of those who received this money? If they say so, let CBN have all their details where these monies were sent to. And then do, handpicking of some of them and call them or go there and find out if they truly received the money. And how is the money helping them? These are oversight functions. Are they doing all of this? What is the outcome? Now, you saw what happened with the NNPCL, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, where 210 trillion is missing. If they have been doing this oversight, this amount of huge sum of amount will not be missing to date. That's how the money, they keep stealing until it got to 210 trillion. Imagine if we have 210 trillion in Nigerian coffers. Imagine how many infrastructure will feast. Imagine how many schools will be functional. Imagine how many hospitals will be working. Our primary healthcare centers will be working and functional. So these are the point. But they are not. They are not doing their job. They are just the lackeys of the executive. They just do what the executive wants. So they are not that legislature that bites. They are not that legislature that does their watchdog properly. There is separation of power. But is there separation of power between the executive, President Tinubu, and the National Assembly headed by Akpabio? Is there any separation of power? I don't think so. They come to National Assembly, they are singing on your mandate. And it's not a political rally. It's a government function. They're supposed to sing the national anthem. But they will be singing on your mandate in that chamber, knowing that there are opposition parties, there are people from other parties in that same chamber. And it was okay for them. They can sing that when they have APC, party function. They can sing on their mandate. But when it's a national issue, you can't sing on your mandate. You sing the national anthem. That's how it's done. So these are the things I have seen, and I got worried that this 10th Assembly is too docile and too attached to the executive. We know how the election happened, how Tinubu came on board and pushed for Senator Godswill Akpabio to become the Senate President, and that's how he became it. So what else are you expecting? Akpabio is playing the card. You don't buy the finger that fits you. So it's the president that ensured that he won that position as the Senate President. So obviously, you don't expect him to do something contrary to what the president wants. That is the point. So every Nigerians are suffering it. So all the loans they are borrowing, all of us will pay. Why do you think they are doing all the widening the tax net and all those things? If they want to get that money from you all of us. That's what it is. So, and who has squandered the money? Them. Look at their lifestyle. Look at what they are doing in government. Look at their convoy. Look at the securities. Look at what is going around them. Then you begin to, understand. So then in the area of making laws, we have seen what happened in the electoral law. It's not what Nigeria wants, so they are not making laws Nigeria wants. In terms of appropriation, we have seen what is going on, how they approve loans anyhow for the president, right? Even the, the jet they bought in the presidential fleet, was bought even before approval was sought. When they went to is it Benin Republic? When they sent our military to stop coup there, what happened? They have gone before they came to seek for approval. So when you look at some certain things that's going on, a lot of things are going in the wrong direction. And that's the point I'm trying to raise here. That is the National Assembly, particularly the Senate, supposed to sit up and understand they are an independent arm of government and function accordingly. There's no, missing the fact that the executive is a different arm, they are a different arm. So they should focus on doing their own 3 basic jobs. That's what Nigeria is asking from them. When loan request comes, screen it, scrutinize it, find out why. Is this necessary at this time? Is this project or whatever they want to do with this loan, is it what we need now? Is it what can be deferred? Can we find alternative solution to deal with that problem? These are how people think. But not everything president brings is approved. Everything is approved. Everything is approved. No. Whether it's right or wrong. So, it's worrisome. I don't know how many Nigerians are seeing what is going on. Is it how we're going to continue? So if we continue this way and have this kind of docile legislature the next 4 years again, I don't know where we're going to end up. Then our, loan, our debts will become more than triple by then, which is not good for us. We will get to the point that all the revenue we make will not even be enough to service debt. Then we'll know that we're in serious trouble. I've looked at them as a watchdog. I can't see their bite on oversight matters, how they hold agencies of government accountable. I'm not saying that. Look at what is going on in this insecurity that is going on. They have committee on security. What are they doing? What are they doing? To hold the executive accountable, to provide security for Nigerians. You won't blame them. They have police that follows them. So they don't care. They don't care. They can afford to even hire more for their wives and children. What about others? They don't care. So they have failed in different ways. Oversight, appropriation, you see how many trillion naira. Now they are implementing 2 budgets, 2020, 4 budget and 2025 budget were kind of running concurrently. I've never seen anything like that. So 2026, I don't know whether it will be 30 budgets or they will close out 2024 and start running 2025, 2026 together. We have never had it like that before. Highest, they roll capital for some months and close it. But this one, I don't know. So all the budget they are approving, 50-something trillion, where are they going to? When Nigerians are hungry, no light, there's no band A now anymore. No light. Only few people have few hours of electricity. There's no water. You have to dig your own borehole. So these are issues we are talking about. Where are the infrastructure? They keep borrowing loans, say it's for infrastructure. Where are the infrastructure? Where are they? Look at Christmas. People cannot travel. People are stuck on the road for 2-3 days because most of the roads are terrible and they are constructing new ones. So where is the National Assembly? I remember those days, National Assembly go to project sites. You see them in Costa, they go to project sites to see for themselves. But today, I don't know what's going on. So the 10th Assembly, I don't really understand them. Anyways, I don't know. I'm just sharing my views based on what I've seen. I don't know what you watching this video have also seen. So the comment section is open. Let me hear what you think about this 10th assembly, comparing them with other assemblies. We are talking of 9th assembly that they are a little bit, worse. But this one is worst. That's the truth. So those, rigmarole between the executive and challenging the executive, no, we can't approve this budget. Why should we approve this? What for? What do you need this for? Why do you need this? All those days are gone. So the Senate president sure serves even his colleague. In most cases, you hear Natasha getting frustrated. Her bills are not hard on the floor and all this. She has to throw tantrum on that day, which led to her suspension. I've seen Senator Tony Moyo also complain. I've seen the other day you saw Senator Alin Duma also, screaming. You are certain committee, you now remove the key people who did the work in the committee, you remove them. So when you look at the way he governs the 10th assembly, he's using divide and rule, divide and conquer. That's his style. He has his key supporters. You see them in front. That Mongono seat, you see the Senate leader and the rest of them. They are his key members. So you hold them. Then others, he plays around them. That's what he does. So I don't know the kind of legislature we want. I don't even know what happens in the state level. But this federal one, no, that's not how it works. You see what's happening in America here. Once they begin this deportation, how many times have they summoned FBI director? How many times have they summoned the DOJ, the Department of Justice, the AG, the Attorney General? They summon them all the time. The Department of Homeland Security, they summon all the time. They summon them. Ask questions. Put them on the hot seat. But in our place, it's a different ballgame. So, well, I don't know. For me personally, I want our country to work. That's what I want. If it functions, many people out there overseas, you see them back home. That's the truth. Many don't want to come because of high insecurity. Nothing is working. So many things are not in good shape. That's why they are where they are. Some are tired to be abroad. They want to go home. But when they look at what is at stake, going home and staying abroad, they decide to stay abroad. So many don't understand. When you have lived abroad for years, your life has matched a lot of things. Infrastructure, electricity, water. Simple things are there with you. So when you go back to where they are not, it's as if your life is a wind back. That's why you see many people, no matter how they are suffering abroad, they don't want to go home. That's the truth. I'm going to leave it here and keep my comment section open for you. I don't know what you think about this 10th assembly headed by Senator Godswill Akpabio. Whatever you think about this 10th assembly, if you think they are doing their work, they are doing very well, please tell us at the comment section and highlight those things you think that's how the assembly is supposed to behave. If you think they are like an agency to the executive or like an agency that is so attached to the executive, let us know. I just want to hear your thought on this matter, and then we'll continue to throw light on what we are seeing going on in the country. And hopefully we pray that one day there will be intervention and things may change for the better. But change begins with you and me. So wherever we are, let's start making the changes by ourselves from where we are. That's where change comes. So guys, whatever you think, put it in the comment section. And then if you are still new to this channel, please like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel and put on notification bell so that when my next new video drop, you'll be among those that will be notified. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. See ya. I'm signing out.